Chair, can I just start by asking your assistance, Mr. Chair? We are still on part one, is my understanding. Is that?
Yes.
Is that correct? You wouldn't know it from the tenor of the
a little
speeches.
bit broader than I would have hoped. Actually.
Yes. I thought that was the case. Mr. Chair, I just wanted to make a brief contribution to this part one and really focus on clause 3, the purpose of the bill. And I think, it's worth just summarising that the purpose of the bill is this. New Zealanders understood, and Honourable Leanne Dalziel, in her contribution mentioned this and acknowledged that it was the case, they understood that when they voted to switch to the MMP system of voting in 1993, that there would be another referendum on the matter. Now, we all in this House understand that that technically wasn't correct, and I talked in my earlier contributions about the small print at the bottom of that saying very clearly if Parliament agreed, but nonetheless, there's a strong feeling out there that New Zealanders were going to have another say on this. And that's why it's always been the National Party position that we would give New Zealanders a chance to have that second say on MMP. And so that's exactly what this bill does. It says to New Zealand, we're now 14 years into an MMP system of voting. This is a chance for you to now come back to the issue, turn your minds to it again, and decide whether it does give you the system you thought you were getting, and if it does, then move into a review of that system so that the issue can effectively be, what I'd like to think, put to bed. These things are never finalised, of course, but it would be nice to think that if, out of this process, New Zealand elects to retain the MMP system of voting, I should say keep, because that's the language we adopted with the paper. If that is the case, then that certainly puts the issue of whether or not there should have been a second referendum to bed. And I think it's just worth commenting on that when Parliament reviewed MMP in 2001, when there was a select committee inquiry into MMP in 2001, the issue of whether there should be another referendum was hotly contested. And I know I wasn't here, sir, but I've certainly read through all the papers. And it was very interesting to me that even then, there was a very, very narrow vote only that there wouldn't be a second referendum, and the only reason that they didn't support a second referendum was that they thought it was a bit too soon. So if 2001 was too soon, and arguably it was, I think, sir, the time has come. It's always been the policy of this government to deliver on it, and that's why we have the bill in front of us, and that's why the purpose of this bill, as set out in clause 3, is to give New Zealanders the chance, through an indicative referendum, to once more commit to the system of voting that they want to elect their House of Representatives.
There is an amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert, and that's amendment to clauses 5, 12 in Schedule 1 set out on SOP 19, and that's been ruled out of order as outside the scope of the bill. So the question is that Part 1 stand.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. My understanding is that amendment wasn't going to come up in this particular part of the bill.
I've got a running sheet here and it's on, but it's kind of, I'm just telling the House that it has been ruled out of order in connection with Part 1.
It's come up here.
Yeah, well, because it referred to Clause 5, and Clause 5 is in Part 1, so therefore I have to deal with it now, and I've made that explanation, and so I'm now going to put the question, which is that Part 1 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. A party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 in favour.
Act New Zealand.
5 votes opposed.
Maori Party.
5 votes in favour.
Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
Ayes are 116, noes 5. Part 1 will stand part. The question now is that Part 2 stand part. This is clauses 7 to 27 in Schedules 2 and 3. Those, we have 2 amendments which are in order. Hilary Calvert's amendment to Clause 32A to raise the expense limit to $500,000 set out on SOP 198. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The noes have it. The member wants a party vote. Clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 opposed.
Act New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Negative by the first one.
Maori Party.
5 votes opposed.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
The ayes are 5, the noes are 116. The amendment will not stand part. You got a comment on that? All right. So there is a second amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to raise the amount to $750,000. That's on SOP 198. The question is the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary no. No. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct the party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
Act New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
5 votes opposed.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed. Not
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
The ayes are 5, the noes are 116. The amendment is not agreed to. So the question now is that Part 2 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary no. The ayes have it. The question now is that Part 3 stand part. That's clauses 28 to 53. Honourable Leanne Dalziel.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. I'm just going to take a brief call on this part because this is the part